Hello and welcome to the course on analytical problem solving. This course has been designed to equip you with the skills you require to understand a problem clearly and be able to come up with effective solutions, strategies that will address such problems. This is a very important skill you can have as a manager in a corporate organization, an entrepreneur, or a business owner, as you will need this particular skill on day-to-day basis as you run your business, as you work in your organization. We have curated this course to help young people, middle-level managers, be effective decision makers in their place of work and business. If you are just joining us for the very first time, I'd like to refer you to our intro video where we talked about our program design, our mode of delivery. If you are yet to watch that intro video, I'd like to refer you to it. It is titled Developing Youths That Build, Lead and Thrive. That particular video lays the foundation of everything we are going to do on this course and in the subsequent courses to come. It is important that you watch that video. For analytical problem solving, we are looking at two important skills that you require as a manager, as a business owner: analytical thinking and creative thinking, which you can otherwise call innovative thinking. These are very important skills that helps you to not just understand a problem clearly, it also helps you to come up with a solution that can help you solve those problems in a sustainable manner. Analytical thinking helps you to understand, in the context of our discussion, helps you to understand a problem, helps you to get to the root cause of a problem. Oftentimes, we look at problems on the surface. We look at the symptoms of problems and not the problems themselves. But the systematic approach we have in analytical thinking helps you to get to the root of a problem, which is the problem itself. If you are not able to clearly understand and define the problem, trying to solve that problem is a total waste of time, because at the end of the day, you would realize that you may only be addressing the symptoms and not the problem itself. Creative thinking or innovative thinking, which oftentimes rides on analytical thinking, helps you to come up with strategies that help you address any challenge that you have, that helps you address any objective that you have. Using these two skills into a course we call analytical problem solving is intended to help you become a better manager of people, systems, and most importantly, of managing your business in a very sustainable manner. For this course, we have 8 modules, starting with how we think, choose, and act, which essentially helps you to understand how generally human beings think. Not just how human beings think, it also tells you about how humans should actually think. We also have a module that discusses how smart people still make bad decisions. Many times we would want to think that people who would make bad decisions are people who are not smart, people who are not educated. But this course will help you to understand that even the most educated people you have, even the most experienced professionals you have, even the most traveled and people that have been in a particular line of business for the longest of time you can think of, also still make bad decisions. This module on how smart people still make bad choices will help you understand how you can navigate the traps of bad decision making. We also have a module titled Asking the Right Questions Before Finding Answers. I think this is very intuitive. How should you ask the right question before you even start answering questions, before you start finding solutions? How should you ask the right questions? Then from there we'll move on to think about How do you think analytically? How do you diagnose problems? Analytical thinking and problem diagnosis is another module we have in this course. From there, we begin to discuss decision making under uncertainty. It is not every time you want to make a decision that you have all the time, all the data, all the information, all the resources you need to make an effective decision. Sometimes you are expected to make spontaneous decisions. How do you handle decision making in such times when you do not have enough time to really think about it? From there, we are going to now be discussing creative problem solving and innovative thinking. From that point, we are now beginning to look at problems from the point of view of how do we solve it, having defined the problems from the beginning. Then you would begin to appreciate that many times you do not take decisions in silos. You do not take decisions alone. If you are working in an organization, you would appreciate the fact that for many decisions you take, you need the input of other people who also work in that same organization. Even if you are running your own private enterprise, sometimes you need the input of people who work for you. You need the input of other stakeholders, your vendors, your suppliers, your customers. Sometimes you need their inputs in making a decision. With that in mind, you will begin to understand how important it is for you to understand how group decision making works. And finally, we are going to be talking about how to evaluate your decisions and learn from the outcome. I'd like to mention to you that sometimes after going through a systematic way, I'd like to mention to you that in some cases, even after following systematic approaches to decision making, you still find flaws in your decision making process. So, with that in mind, it is important that at the end of your decision making process and implementation, you need to go back and review the process itself and draw up some learnings from the process you've taken to make a decision. So these are the 8 modules we have in this course, and you would agree with me that you have interesting topics to treat. In the course of this training, we are going to be unpacking a lot of frameworks. We are going to be discussing a lot of ideas. We are going to be using real life examples. You are going to be discussing with your peers, contributing ideas that will help you to understand what it really means to solve a problem in a systematic way. You are going to practice this, and over time, you are going to master this concept that you begin to apply them in your personal life, in your place of work, and in your place of business. Once again, I am glad to have you join me on this course. If you are yet to watch the intro video, please search for the video that is titled Developing Youths That Build, Lead and Thrive. It will really help you to appreciate what we are doing here, why we are doing it, and how we are doing it. Thank you very much, and see you on the next video.